Hi, it's Austin Rosenthal with Social Musings by Austin, and welcome to Tragedy in Paradise, Part 2. This story is a brand new work of original fiction inspired by the actual events of tourists being lost at sea when I was in Aruba in November 2021. The story inspired me so much that I decided to write a fictional account of what it must have been like to be out there for 24 hours in the open ocean before being found. If you missed episode 1, you can find it here on the Social Musings by Austin podcast or on my blog at www.socialmusingsbyaustin.com. You'll remember at the end of part 1, Sergeant Audubert of the Aruba Police was pondering 3 potential outcomes to the information that he had received over that Saturday, November 13th, 2021. First was that the 2 men that were witnessed floating out to sea were still out there and hadn't been found. The second was that somehow they had returned unnoticed and were enjoying their vacation unbeknownst to them about any of the fuss that was being generated. Or finally, maybe the witness just was mistaken in what she saw or was trying to mislead the police. Either way, he was hoping for the best. So here we were now, on Sunday, November 14th, 2021, at the Aruba Today headquarters in downtown Oranjestad, Aruba. The time was 5:30 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. Editor-in-Chief Marika Snyders was having her coffee as she reviewed the latest news with her team. Her colleagues had called her in the middle of the night after receiving a tip from an informant that 2 tourists had been spotted floating out to sea. And as of yet, they had not been found. And Sergeant Audubert from the police had just called her office confirming these facts. When this news gets out, it will not be good for tourism, Marika thought. But we have to be truthful in telling this story journalistically, she kept reminding herself. And as her team crowded around her in the early morning light, she said, "Okay, team, here's what we're going to do. We don't have enough information to run a solid story yet, but I want all of you on this, following it, so we can go to print with it as soon as possible. Cover story material. Got it?" In the meantime, she posted the following message on social media. And this is the actual Aruba Today post. "Bon dia. Good morning, dear friends. Based on the news of persons lost at sea, we have an update or you from the police department. The spokesman for the police department informed that they received a call stating there might be some persons lost at sea. The person informed that he saw 3 or 4 persons on 2 different floats go out to sea but didn't see them return. Other 2 witnesses said they saw some persons struggling indeed, but the information was not accurate. No one knew exactly the gender or the nationalities of these persons. However, the police department didn't hesitate and took immediate action. And with the help of the Maritime Department and the police helicopter, they searched the area. They did their utmost and searched a big area, but nothing was seen or found. The search lasted until around 8 at night. Up till now, there is no official missing person report filed. So for now, there is no information if this is true. However, all persons concerned have been notified and will take immediate action should there be any new information on this case." Now it's 7:15 in the morning. That's Sunday, November 14th, on board the Dutch Marine helicopter off the coast of Aruba in the Caribbean Sea. Commander Vanderbeek surveyed the open ocean from his helicopter. They had called off the search last night at approximately 2000 hours last night when the darkness made search efforts near impossible. It was becoming entirely likely that the lost tourists had drifted miles out to sea overnight. It was also becoming more and more likely that they may not be found alive. He didn't want to think about that at the moment. Just concentrate at the task at hand, he thought. At 7:30 in the morning on a raft in the Caribbean Sea, that Sunday, November 14th, 3.7 miles off the coast of Aruba, Alex and Andy had drifted all night. Alex deemed it the worst night of his life. The pitch black sky, the sea's dull roar, the open raft pitching back and forth in the treacherous ocean. I wish I'd never come on this stupid trip, was all Alex could think. He glanced over at Andy, who was not holding up well. Neither of them had brought any water, only the empty champagne bottle and glasses which had been pitched over the side of the raft in the dark of the night. As Alex gazed out on the horizon, he noticed that at least the sun had come up again, and daylight should help with the rescue efforts, if there indeed were any. Lord, please help me. Lord, please help me. Lord, please help me. This was all he could think. 4 hours later, on board the Dutch Marine helicopter on Sunday, November 14th, the time was now 12:15, just after noon, Atlantic Standard Time. The Dutch NH-90 helicopter was searching the area 5 miles west of Aruba. Commander Vanderbeek had remembered that a few years ago an Aruban local had been lost at sea in similar circumstances and had actually eventually floated safely all the way west to Colombia, where he was rescued on the coastline. Vanderbeek was taking a chance that a similar current had taken the Taurus farther west of the island than originally thought possible. It was a typically clear and gorgeous day. This is why people love Aruba, he pondered. Sun, sand, and sea, as they say. Little did they know that the sea can actually be a complete bitch. "Commander, look," yelled the pilot. Vanderbeek craned his neck to the left, looking over the pilot's shoulder. About a quarter mile off in the distance, he could make out a bright yellow speck in the blue ocean. "Go!" screamed the commander. On a raft in the Caribbean Sea, 5.3 miles off the coast of Aruba, at that moment at 12:15 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. "Alex, look!" screamed Andy. Alex knew he'd heard some sort of noise, but he couldn't place it. To be honest, he had given up hope. He was thinking of his parents back at home in Wisconsin. The last time he had seen them had been 6 years ago, when he had come home from college and told them he was gay. His conservative father did not take the news well at all. Alex had hoped that it might have gone better than it did. And after that, there was minimal correspondence. His mom sent him a birthday card every year, which Alex appreciated. He knew it was likely she did this without her husband's permission. Well, despite their familiar troubles, Alex was distraught that he may never see him again. He'd been pondering his life and its meaning over the last 5 hours, wondering what he could have been doing differently to live a better life. Work less. Be kinder to others. Especially Andy and the people you hold the closest. Now, however, there seemed to be hope. On the horizon, far off, the helicopter came into view. "We're saved!" screamed Andy at the top of his lungs. Hallelujah, thought Alex. 30 minutes later, on Highway 1A in Malmak, Aruba, spectators on the Malmak boardwalk knew something was up. An ambulance and 2 police vehicles had screamed by with their sirens blaring. The Dutch Marine helicopter had landed all the way at the northern end of the island by the lighthouse, and Andy and Alex were dire need of IV fluids and minor sunburn treatment. They would be taken to the main general hospital in Aruba on Eagle Beach, which ironically was right across the street from their room, which cost them $500 a night at the Pecuti. That night, as they were getting well, tourists all over the island were reading the good news on the All Things Aruba Facebook group. Here's the post that was posted below. Update. They were found last night. Thank God. I hope you've enjoyed Tragedy in Paradise, which thankfully had a happy ending. For an alternative, not so happy ending, go to my blog at socialmusingsbyaustin.com and see pictures that go with the text to this story. I hope you've enjoyed this content, and also check out my new music video called I'm Lost, which is based on this story, available on the Social Musings by Austin YouTube channel. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the new year.